Welcome back, everyone. 'Tis the season to be stressed. Oh, no, that's not what we want at all. But with the decorating, the gift shopping, the party planning, I'm already getting stressed just thinking about it. Well, the holidays can bring with it loads of anxiety. And joining me today to talk about how we can manage our mental health through it all is Dr. Marcus Griffith from Kaiser Permanente. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning. And you know, I didn't mention it, and it's all good because it's not all good, but we had an uncle pass away last week in the midst of all this, and my mom woke up this morning that one of her best friends also passed away. So to say that on top of this, everything going on in our world, the heaviness that people are experiencing, especially our older generation of losing friends, it can be lonely, it can be depressing, and most of all, overwhelming. So, you know, what do you have for anybody that's feeling like, okay, I want to be joyful, but this is really hard?
So the first thing to offer is just condolences to you, your mother and family, and that you all have the peace and are able to recognize the goodness in the life that your uncle had and what he shares. And so that can be one of the things that helps us get through these challenging times, is that the holidays can be, as you know, very stressful. A challenge getting here this morning.
Right, in traffic.
So no one likes to be in lines and stress. And so the thing you can offer is don't become the Grinch, all right? So offer yourself patience, kindness, and gratitude. And those can be some things that can help you get through these challenging times.
Yes, I love that. And we've said that a lot in the last year about, you know, just as things have suddenly opened back up and we are busier than ever, give yourself some grace. And then let's talk about a lot of people, maybe because they can't afford to with flights and with inflation, or maybe college students can't. What do we do about those people who can't spend time with their loved ones? I mean, that's always, that used to happen to me when I lived in California. I couldn't always come home.
Yes. So fortunately, now we have technology.
Yes.
So we give thanks to our service personnel who are overseas defending us, and so we have the Zooming and so forth.
FaceTime.
So Zoom with the people that you love, so that way you connect with them. The old-fashioned way, I mean, everyone likes to get a letter.
Yes.
So you can revert back to some of those old-fashioned things to do that. So write a letter to someone that you care and love. There are lots of people who are lonely, who don't have someone there. So there are people in nursing homes and people are isolated. And so, like you're doing with the Can-a-thon, give to those. So the greatest way you can help those that are lonely is to give your time to others.
I think so too, and there are so many opportunities, and we're going to tell you all about them, about many of them actually tomorrow on Giving Tuesday, so make sure you stick around for that. But it's so true, and I want to add one more thing. Speak up. Like, I remember when I was outside, in another state living and I couldn't come home, tell people when they go, what are you doing? Say, I'm not going to be able to go home this year, but what are you doing? Can I hang out with you? I mean, just speak up so people can be there for you and know that they care. Now, another side to the holidays is the fun side, but that also leads to overeating.
Yes.
We're drinking too much. I think we had some wine every night in the last 5-6 nights. So what can we do to not overindulge? Because it ends up not making us feel good.
So the holiday is filled with that merriment. Eat, drink, and be merry. So, of course, if you eat too much, you may have guilt. You're going to have, issues related to your weight. If you drink too much, nobody wants to have a DUI or someone harmed. So have a plan in place. You don't have to eat as much. You don't have to drink as much. And so put that plan in place, so that way you can adhere to it.
Yeah, and definitely getting back to the ride. There are so many ride sharing opportunities, guys. Do not risk that. That brings a whole other set of problems. And then for those people who have fallen on hard times, there are community resources out there. We just have to, look for them, but they're a plethora.
Yes. Sadness, loneliness, and isolation. So lots of people, not only during the holiday times, but throughout the year, experience depression, may have thoughts of suicide. And so now we have this great resource that everyone should use now, and that's at 988. so someone can call 988 and can get help needed immediately through trained counselors who can direct them to the appropriate resources in the community.
Yeah, it's so important. I know, a lot of people can't afford therapy. I mean, their insurance costs don't cover it. So to know that there's that resource out there is so critical. And lastly, let's just talk about our physical health. Flu cases on the rise. That upper respiratory illness. So let's talk about ways that we can celebrate safely.
So glad you brought this up. So very fortunate. I had the birth of my grandchild, Journey, who's only 8 weeks old.
Congratulations.
So
what a cool name, too.
Yeah, Journey. So we think about Journey. She's not vaccinated yet against anything.
Right.
And we see RSVs on the rise, influenza, COVID. On the other spectrum, I have a father who's 91 years old, who's fully vaccinated.
Right.
So we have to, but he's still, perhaps compromised to get sick. So when we're together, if you're sick, step away.
Right.
Make sure everyone's fully vaccinated. Use caution, precautions, so that way you can be happy, love one another, and enjoy another holiday period.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
so calming and soothing. I love that. We need that this time of year. Thank you, Doctor, and thank you to Kaiser Permanente for sponsoring that segment.